Welcome to this eMentor tutorial video on first call structure. Now, your first call is really important as it determines whether the client will work with you or not. So there's a lot of work obviously in finding the clients, but an area that's often not given enough attention is how you actually convert the clients. So the process of why should they choose to work with yourself over other mortgage brokers, over their bank as well. So first call is really important because it sets the tone for the rest of the relationship, and it decides whether that client will want to work with you or not. So I just wanted to go through a few basics, getting a bit more complicated as we go as well. We covered this more in the course, but this should be a good introduction and foundation as well. So the first step here is preparation. So this is really key. The more you can prepare, the better, and then you're organized, and then you're less flustered, you're less stressed during the call. So it helps to know a bit of a summary of the plans. So let's say you get an online lead. They say, oh, I want to talk to you to find out your best rate. You want to reply and say, what are your plans? Can you give me a bit more details on what you're looking for so I can do some preparation ahead of our call? And this helps get a little bit of information. Then you can set up what type of call you're going to cover. You can know what type of information they'll likely want to discuss and do some preparation there to be more organized as well. Now, second here is send a professional email. So it's useful to have an email template when you get any referrals that just details the next steps and the process in a really professional manner. So you have this ready. You can send this to the clients right away. You can say, thanks for, let's say you got a referral from a realtor. Just say, many thanks for sharing my details. The first step will be to connect for a call with myself. Here's a link to my calendar. This is what we will discuss, and it gives them a bit of expectation and preparation for what you'll discuss in the call ahead of time as well. Next, in preparation, is thank the referral source. So this is the stage as well where you want to send a thank you to the referral source. I always like doing this, even if someone hasn't booked yet. It still shows that you appreciate the fact that they're sending you business. Saying thank you for passing my name on to X, Y, Z. And I think referral sources appreciate that as well. They know you're not just waiting to see if it turns into something, just a small coffee card, or even just a thank you if you don't have the funds, just to show, thanks so much for the support. I'll make sure they're taken good care of. I'll let you know how it goes, letting them know that you will be taking care of the referral and keeping them in the loop and keeping them updated. And then here is request documents, if applicable. So this may help. So let's say somebody has a renewal coming up. Have they been offered any rates by their lender? Do they have a mortgage statement? Just from a mortgage statement, you'll be able to know. It should show the property address, so you can figure out, okay, what's their property value? What rate categories do they fit into? What is the mortgage as a percentage of their property? What kind of property is it? Is it? There's a lot of research you can do to help you get started with a few documents up front as well. So use your judgment here, but having some information up front can be really helpful to help you best prepare for that first call. Now, next is connect and educate. So during the call, and I'll move myself over here as well as we're moving section along. So first, introduce yourself and connect with the client on a personal level. So no one wants to necessarily, some people will want to dive straight in, but it's always good to just introduce yourself, make a personal connection before just diving straight into the mortgage side. People work with people that they like, that they like and trust. So you want to really kind of make a personal connection, ask them how their day's going, just a little bit of small talk at the start, just to build a bit of that personal connection, find some sort of common ground. Always helps as well, kind of come across more friendly and build that relationship from the start before just diving right in with the mortgage side. Next, explain your role as a broker. So it's always good to ask the question, have you worked with a mortgage broker before? Do you understand how we work? Would you like me to just go through a bit about what we do and how we differ from if you were to go to your local bank, for example? Never assume that everybody knows how mortgage brokers work. So the key things to really explain are, this is a chance for you to sell yourself, so you can say that we have access to multiple lenders across Canada, versus if you go to your bank, you'll just have their options. Also, there's no fee for our services. We receive a commission from the lender, unless it's a private deal, which is very unlikely, so you can choose whether you mention that or not, because it's private deals are slightly different, and you may want to sort of avoid confusing things a little bit, but find a way of explaining what you do in a very transparent way. Explain the process. You can also say, as your mortgage broker, we're here to help you not only throughout the process helping set up the mortgage, but we also monitor our clients' mortgages to see if there's any rate saving opportunities in the future as well, as just being able to we're at the end of the phone if you ever need help or support, and we're really that kind of go-to person that you can turn to for all your mortgage needs. You can explain we are similar to a financial planner, but we handle your liabilities as well. So our goal is to really help long-term plan and strategize for you. So that's a chance to sell yourself and your services, as well as just explaining and making sure they understand that because a lot of clients may think they have to pay you, and in the vast majority, unless you're doing a private file, they won't. So it's kind of key to just get that straight away as well. And then next is find out their plans. So use a nice open-ended question. So talk me through your plans, or that works well, rather than are you thinking of buying? Yes. So talk me through your plans. What are your thoughts? What stage are you at with everything? Nice open-ended questions just to find out the situation. You can make notes and then get started from there. This is more of a getting them to talk through what they're thinking is a good way to start things, rather than just going through sort of a list and ticking off boxes, which can be a little more formal and a little less engaging. And then next is educate and strategize. So it's always good to have a bit of a plan for this and a bit of a structure. So what you're going to cover in the call. So if you know, and we'll come on to talk about this, if you know your call type, you've done it, you know a bit of information up front, so you know they're purchasing, for example, and maybe the realtor said they're a first-time buyer. So, you know, ahead of the call, you can prepare, okay, these are the first-time buyer programs that I can let them know about. These are the different down payment levels and different implications of that. You know, talk through, okay, well, what's your ideal goal? What's your purchase price? What funds do you have available for down payment and closing costs? Do you have an idea of monthly budget that you're, you know, what are you looking to spend and what are you comfortable spending? These are all questions and how you can really help the client and find out their needs, and then be able to explain and kind of go through some scenarios to really help them with those. And then finally, at the end of the call, outline next steps and follow up. So this is extremely important. So let them know, okay, well, the next step is following our call. If you're happy to go forward with things, we'll need some more information for you, for example. I'll be sending a link to our application system where you'll be able to fill in your details, we can request any documents, and then once we have that information, we'll be able to work on that pre-approval for you and let you know what budget you would qualify for. For example, if that's how you do things. Some brokers do this up front ahead of the call. We do this after the call. So let's say you've already done this, you already have the documents, so the next steps would be possibly, okay, well, we'll look into some rate options for you and get back to you with some feedback, and your pre-approval letter. Now we have all the information and we know more about your plans. So just make sure, however your process is, that you are outlining the next steps, and kind of keeping that process going as well. And then finally, know your call type. So this is really, really key, just in regards to kind of knowing preparation and also just having a structure for your call. This shouldn't be a one-size-fits-all thing, because these different call types will be different. Purchase, sale and purchase, rental purchase, refinance, renewal, or a switch transfer. These have their own implications depending on what the call type is. So know your call type, and then you'll be able to tailor the call appropriately, and you'll be able to cover the right things. And you can also prepare, you know, knowing about different programs or implications and things like that as well. So rental purchase, for example, make sure that the client knows they need 20% down payment, as an example. Just different things that will apply in these different scenarios. So next, tools to convert better. So now we know a little bit about how we should be structuring our calls with clients. What can we do to convert clients better? So one simple one that anyone can start with, and a good starting point, is questionnaires. So having a list of key questions, and you can improve these, you can add to these as well, that you're going to cover with clients, key points that you need to know, can be really helpful. And it's the benefits of this are it's repeatable, it's refinable. So if you miss something one time, you can then add that the next time. And you'll make sure you cover the key information by having an organized list of what you need to cover. When you're in conversations with clients talking through their plans, they may talk through some of these, so you don't have to kind of go through everything in turn. But just having a questionnaire or some key information you go through is a really good way of just making sure that you cover everything you need to. And it's very entry level. You don't need to pay anything. You can just come up with, you know, from your knowledge, you'll come up with the key questions that you need to ask. So for example, for a purchase, okay, what's your ideal purchase price? What's your down payment level? Are you a first-time buyer or not? That will determine property transfer tax if you're in BC, for example. What, you know, closing costs wise, you can go through, okay, well, do you need to budget for anything else? Legal fees, home inspection, all of that side of things as well. And you can really just have a list of key questions to ask those clients that will determine where the call will go as well. And then how to convert clients better. The second section here is application technology. So the easier it is for clients to give you and provide their information, the better. So technology, it should be ideally user-friendly, secure, and broker-friendly as well. Clients may be a bit funny about sending information, so sometimes if you have a secure portal, it makes clients feel a lot better. Somewhere they can upload their documents rather than just sending via email or via text, or try and just make this most convenient for clients. Some clients prefer to send things via text or just send pictures, but make sure you have a way that clients can complete applications that's ideally as convenient for them as possible, and also helps you be able to underwrite the file effectively as well. Next is planning and calculation tools, and then we'll come on to talk about this a little bit more, just with a little bit of a demo after this section. So options for this include, so of course questionnaire is one, a spreadsheet. So this is a basic version, so you can have a spreadsheet that automatically works out what property transfer tax is, or any taxes when you're buying. It automatically features legal fees, for example, maybe home inspection costs, appraisal. You can build basic spreadsheets as a bit of a budgeting tool for your clients. You may even be able to find some online available there as well, just as a bit of a basic budgeting and planning option as well, or even templates so you can build your own that you can really kind of go through with clients, and you can brand yourself and things like that as well. And then technology. So I'll come on to show a bit of technology that is discussed within the training as well, that I'm affiliated with, Tactical Mortgage Solutions, which is a good example of how you can really go through the process with clients, and it does a lot of this work for you, giving you real structure for those calls. And then next is mortgage comparison tools. So tools where you can just compare lenders and rates side by side and show costs, benefits, pros, cons of different options. This really shows your value as a mortgage broker, because it's one thing you saying, oh, we have access to different lenders, and it's another you showing different lenders side by side and how much they vary, how different rates, even just between variable rates, how there's different types of variables, there's different types of compounding, how it's not just about the rate. By showing all of the different products and how they work, you can really show your value in a mortgage broker in just educating them beyond just interest rate. So let's do a bit of a demo with a calculation tool here at Tactical Mortgage Solutions. So this just shows you an example of a tool that can really go through the process. There's a separate video as well going in a bit more detail, going through this scenario here that you'll be able to find on the Tactical Mortgage Solutions YouTube channel. But let's just show you a bit of a basic, some of the features that you can do here. So let's just say purchase 2024, purchase planning. Let's make it 2025. Okay, BC. So let's say we're planning for someone. Let's say he's not a first-time buyer. Let's say he's a repeat buyer. Okay, so we're adding a new plan for them. So let's just say they're buying for 500,000 here in British Columbia. So what this does, automatically it shows you the main other closing costs they need to factor in, which is property transfer tax in BC. The next thing you can do as well is you'll be discussing, okay, well, how much funds do you, now you found out what the purchase price the client's given you, what funds do you have for down payment? So let's say they have, okay, well, I have 60,000 or so in total, or I have, let's just say that. So then, well, that means 10,000 down payment, including those closing costs as well. So let's say including legal, appraisal as well. That will be around that level of what you need there. So you can really show and budget for the client, just go through the process, and it really gives you something you can show. So you can go through a screen share like this. You can say purchase price, down payment levels. You can also show them, well, if you're able to get 20% down payment, then you're actually you can actually not have to pay that insurance premium, and you can spread the payments over a bit longer as well. So let's just go down and show you how that looks. So if you're able to save some more, or if let's say if they're close to this, if they have 90,000 or 95 or something like that, or they're able to borrow some additional funds, you can then show them, okay, well, if you compare costs, it's much the payments are lower, of course, because you don't have that insurance premium, but you can also spread the payments over 30 years when you have 20% down payment, which helps for cash flow as well. You can then add any property taxes and condo fees. Let's say they're looking, one place is they can find a condo property, and one place it's a house, so they don't have any. Okay, so let me just delete that there. I'm not sure why that appeared. Let me just refresh. So then you can show them side by side different scenarios of, okay, well, this is how things would look. Maybe the client, can't budget for this amount. 3,500 is just too much for them. Sometimes clients see these numbers, especially if the interest rates are high. I mean, the current rates maybe very different, likely very different to these they are right now, even though I'm recording the video. But let's say that based on the rates they're given, these payments are actually a lot higher than they'd like. Maybe they'll adjust their budget, and you can kind of help really show them those numbers and help with that budgeting and planning going forward for them. And then there's a couple of other things as well, but the other key thing to do here is just mortgage product options. So let's say you're at the stage where you want to do a bit of a comparison as well. And this just shows you some of the benefits. The reason of this is some of the benefits of these tools, just giving a structure to your calls. So let's just say we have one lender here with a 5-year fixed, and then let's just say we have another lender here with, let's just say Scotiabank, and we want to go variable rate with Scotiabank. So let's say here this lender has a 5-year fixed of 4.2 and Scotiabank has a variable of prime less 1. We can show those side by side. So let's say they want to choose the option here where they have the $400,000 mortgage. So let's put that in here. So you can show them, okay, well the 5-year fix is this is the variable. You can scroll down, you can show the difference, and then you can start talking about the market and really adding that value. So you can say, well, yes, the variable's higher right now, but the variable rates are projected to come down. So let's just add in the Bank of Canada forecast, the latest forecast and the numbers that we have for when these rates may change. You can then show them, well, the payments would come down over time as well with these current projections. And then if we scroll down with the projections, actually the variable now is making more sense than the fixed because of those market projections. So this is the things that you can do when you use some of these tools that have all of this built in. So this is definitely more of an advanced version. You've got the questionnaires, you've got spreadsheets you can build yourself, and then you've got tools like this where you can really go into to a deeper level and structuring those calls and really adding that value to clients. So you can see, wrapping everything up, there's a lot that you can do to really show that value above the bank, above other brokers that may just be having a phone call, just saying, you know, talk me through your plans, what are you looking at doing, okay, let me look into some rates for you. And you can really just make yourself differentiate yourself depending on how far you want to go with you know, the how you structure your first calls, what tools you use to convert clients, but there's a lot of different options here and a lot of different ways that you're able to really show that value and convert those clients better from that first call. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Do let me know any strategies that you may have that haven't been mentioned in the comments. We'd love any feedback as well, and if you want to learn more and more in depth about some of these processes and tools, the full version of the training as well, there'll be a link in the bio to that, so you can check that out. And any questions, do let us know. Thanks.